So today, just like what we did when we started the month of February with my top 5 Batmans, we're going to be doing my top 5 Supermans. There's a twist though. It's only going to be Superman in his classic suit, so it kind of makes it a little bit more of a challenge for me. But anyway, having said all that, let's jump right into it and begin the countdown. What we have right here is what's so close to being a classic Superman. There are issues with it though. First off, the trunks. This is the Page Puncher Superman for the Black Adam comic line. You know, that had Batman, Constantine, Black Adam, Superman himself. So they reused the same trunks and belt. And then another problem is they gave him the big hands. His hands are the size of his head. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't. Now, and the other problem, the cape. No S in the back. None. And they call this classic, if you will. I mean, the color's not bad. I personally would have preferred the blue like the ones that'll come out later on, like the Hush Superman. That one I would have preferred with the color shade of blue. But anyway, it's basically not perfect. Had so much potential to be the class Superman want, but that's why he's at number 5. We have a Superman which you all should remember this Batman story. It is from The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. The Batman video, we had Batman ranked at number 5, but I just like this Superman. He looks grizzled, he looks rough, but it was an ugly story. It was not a really peaceful story. It was a dark story of Batman, which was a good one. They even based off Batman vs. Superman movie. They based that off the Dark Knight Returns story. So there was that positive about the movie. But I just like this Superman. Yes, he doesn't have a swivel. Doesn't have that. And he's got single jointed elbows, but he's got double jointed knees. So he's not a bad looking Superman, but he's just not the definitive Superman, and that's why he's at number 4. So I just had to throw a live action Superman in here just to basically shout out how good this Superman is. Now this was a Target exclusive Snyder Cut Justice League Superman. Problem is this was Target exclusive. I feel like the black and gray version should have been Target, while this was a main release. The sculpting, the texture in the suit, the colors are very crisp and nice. It looks like the Man of Steel suit. The head sculpt, not a bad likeness to Henry Cavill, but what throws it off, it's the eyebrows and the eyes. The sculpt is there, the hair is there. It's just the way they painted the eyes and the eyebrows. If they were painted a little bit better, we could have had a perfect Henry Cavill likeness, but it's very, very close. But overall, it's a really good Superman. If you have not picked it up, I'm pretty sure you can go on the aftermarket and find a good deal for this guy. So I recommend picking him up for sure. And that's why he's at number 3. The Superman to make it oh so close to the number 1 spot. Now I'm going to be honest with y'all. When this Superman was revealed early in the spring last year, I seen that image like many of y'all, and there was a majority of people like myself said, yes, this is my definitive Superman. This is perfect. This is the one I want. The chiseled square jaw, the S in the back of the cape, the blues, the reds, the yellows, just the perfect color of Superman. But then when you get in hand, you realize you put him with Nightfall Batman, Nightfall Batman's a little bit taller than he is. He is. And he's just too big and bulky to fit with the Wonder Woman and the Nightfall Batman, the Flash, Green Lantern, and so on. But, I mean, he's got the double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, got all the range of articulation. The problem is the neck peg makes his head silhouette a little low, so he can't look straight up like he's flying. But the only thing this Superman has over the rest is he has the S in the back of the cape, which proves that Todd can do that, but he just chooses not to. But like I said, this Superman is so close to being number one, but it just came up short. And now let's get to the number one Superman on this list. So what did y'all think? Like, was there ever any doubt that this Superman was going to take the number one spot? Now, hear me out. I know some of you in the comments are going to be like, no, this Superman doesn't deserve being there. It's outdated. It's got the single jointed elbows and bad articulation. Come on. Hear me out. This Superman is really good. It's a really good body sculpt. I could see why a lot of people always make the Action Comics 1000 their favorite Superman over the rest, because he's not too bulky, he's not too skinny, like these two. He's not like a human proportion or big and bulky like a Hulk. He balances the scale in terms of body proportions and size. It's just a balance. And yes, I agree, he should have double jointed elbows and not single jointed. This is the Atomic Skull 2-pack, on which, when this was revealed, I was excited. I was excited not only because we're getting Atomic Skull first time, but also we're getting a much better colored Superman. And yes, I do wish he came with another fisted hand instead of the old trigger finger hand. I get it, Todd just wanted to resculpt, but the way he colored him with the blues, the reds, the yellows, the way his face looks, this is a classic comic book Superman. The only two issues with him is, yes, the single joint elbows and the cape. The cape, the problem with this is, if you're going to put a figure like Batman or somebody beside him, you can't because the cape's in the way. So you either have to put him in front of the cape or behind it. But other than those little issues, he is still the best Superman you could get from Mcfarlane. And that's why he is at the whopping number one spot. After this pretty good countdown, I'd like to know, what are y'all's thoughts and opinions on this lineup? Is there any Superman that I might have missed that should be on this countdown? Let me know down in the comment section below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with your friends as well. And if you see anything on the channel, other videos that might interest you, go check them out. And as I always say, take care.